Hi guys, this is Berdish. I would like to welcome you to my channel. I hope you're staying safe and healthy in this strange and unsettling times. I was hoping to get a little, to make a little material about my Kings of War armies. But to be perfectly honest, this is sort of like a substitute material because by the time right now, some time ago actually, I was planning to film and make my very first full video report. Well, unfortunately, just as we were getting ready to do this, I mean, we actually had like sort of like a first tryout game, and then well, the thing happened. Well, here in Poland where we live, there is a strict advisement not to leave your home if you don't have to, and we tend to go along with it. So I just stayed home. I just stay home most of the time. I work from home pretty much all the time anyway, so not much of a difference for me in this regard. But when it comes to playing, obviously you have to meet other people. I mean, well, in my case, not necessarily, but in a second about that. But basically my usual gaming partners are well, staying home as well, so we don't meet and we don't play. Well, or I do hope that this is going to change in well, foreseeable future, rather sooner than later. So I just decided to take out my armies, my Kings of War armies, the miniatures that I use for Kings of War. Actually, I should say like that, this way. And just do a little, mustering sort of check what I have, because I really was planning to do that. I mean, especially with my Kings of War army, Kingdoms of Men, Kingdoms of Men, because there's lots of things in that army already, and I just wanted to check how they look together to bring some sort of unification to it, and then you will see what I'm talking about. Anyway, well, I hope you will enjoy it, and I hope I will be able to get this report going soon enough so you can watch it and hopefully give me some insights as how am I doing with this sort of stuff. So I'm sort of like preparing to have two armies that can be playable. Well, I have plenty of Kingdoms of Men figures, so I can set up an army, and I'm trying to to have ready the Ratkin army, to ready them to play some sort of sensible games. I can play with my son. He's like old guy now, right? Can't believe that. Well, he's 19, so he can play perfectly well. Probably I'll have to sweat a lot to actually win against him. So this sort of game we can have in home without, well, meeting anyone from outside. So I'm sort of like walking towards the goal. I will talk about this because, like I said, especially my Ratkin army needs to be adjusted still. I mean, well, the army needs some work in order to be playable, not in a sense to be like a killer armies or anything, but just to have some stuff that you can, play with. So okay, let's just have a look at those armies. First, sort of like an artistic approach to my Kingdoms of Men, a few shots of them, then just sort of like a more of an explanation about what I have and why I have it, and then some, a few more words about my Ratkin and what is going on with that army at that moment. Okay, well, enjoy, I hope. So I did this video mastering about this army like a year ago, so we're just gonna talk about a bit about what has changed, what stayed the same, and what is new. So basically, the most apparent thing, I mean, sort of, it's that the GW miniatures are gone. I mean, as the troops, the cannons, the giants, and the heroes will actually stay as such, but troops are gone. Okay, so first, these are my archers, and to the left are the fanatics. I mean, these are my Saga Scots, but I'm using them as just as I explained. It's not so far-fetched when it comes to army theme. I mean, if we consider that this is like a very late century, 15th century or beginning of the 16th century army, we have proof that Norse Gaelic troops, the Scotland Gallowglass, were actually present on the continent. There is a sketch or painting by Albrecht Dürer showing them, and they were not so dissimilar from my Scots, especially to the ones on the right. Perry miniatures are making a wonderful Gallowglass, so I sort of like, I'm planning to buy some of them along with the Irish Kern, and they will be my fanatics. But like I said, for a time being, these Scots are filling the role. These are my heavy knights, obviously. So if you by any chance saw this material that I made like a year ago, these guys were there. I mean, the base, I mean, the movement tray was not finished, but the knights were there. They just looked different. They were just like a white armor, no ornaments. I mean, no colors, sort of like, I mean, not no color, but the same colors. I decided to make them a bit more Renaissance, and so I painted them in the different colors. I painted their weapons, and here it is how they look. I think they look rather nice. I need more of them, at least one more regiment, so I can make a horde if needed. And yeah, okay, here is some well, new stuff, basically guns, because we have a 3rd edition of Kings of War now, and it seems guns are a thing. I used them already, and yeah, if I use them properly, they might be pretty dangerous. So these are obviously GW miniatures. I bought them on some auction. They were like in a very bad shape. I mean, like you know, lots of paint on them. But I redone them, repainted them, and along with the bases are a bit bigger than they should be. I printed those bases. They are like a 5 by 7, I think, or 8. 5 by 8. Well, the frontage checks out, and I thought, like, you know, at least I could like put some stuff on it, and it looks rather nice. I think. I mean, what do you think? I'm not sure, but I think they looked rather nice. No really fancy painting or anything, but just a solid one, I think. Okay, well, if you look at my army, obviously some bases need to be finished because I redone them from the winter theme, but there's lots of shooting units. There were some there, 2 regiments of crossbow here. And here is another regiment of handgunners. Okay, there is so many of them because they played initially, or they are still playing as Free Peoples for Age of Sigmar. So in that army, you know, shooting was very effective, very effective. Obviously in Kings of War I don't need so many, so sometimes I'm using like at least I was in the 2nd edition, like one horde of handgunners, but now, I mean, obviously, honestly, I just played one game of 3rd edition, so I used just a regiment of crossbows and regiment of handgunners. Here's my pikemen. I made like another, I mean, since the previous material, there's like one full horde more. And I love them. I love the miniatures. I love using them. They are very solid. I don't know if they are, you know, viable choice when it comes to the optimal army for Kingdoms of Men, but this is like a 15th, 16th century army. I mean, the theme is so. I need to have pikes, and I love pikes. You know, it doesn't matter the you know, century. If there were pikes in use, I would gladly play it. So pikes. Here are the guys. I showed them already. These replaced GW miniatures. I need more of them. I want to make one more regiment of them, and then finally I need to make the ones, because these are foot guards in terms of Kingdoms of Men. I need to make the ones that are more armored, the one with shields, because I never use them as the one with shields, because they have, you know, two-handed swords, I mean, as miniatures, so I will not use them in any other capacity. Here are my 17th centuries guys. I need more of them. They're actually pretty good now in 3rd edition, I think. I mean, I just played once, but they seem okay. These guys are out of theme a bit, because they are like a 17th century. Okay, and I'm planning, when it comes to cavalry, I'm planning to make some light cavalry as well. I bought some miniatures already. It's just, you know, if you guys watching my channel, I'm doing a lot of things, so well, it will happen eventually. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole army as it is right now. Like I said, I'm planning for lots of things to add, and then yeah, we'll see. Okay, now a few words about my Ratkin. So here is most of the army. Well, it's not very big. It needs serious development in order to be playable. But well, actually, I hope it will happen soon. So this is a new part, because I also did a material about this army. So this is completely new. I just painted them recently, like a previous month. So I'm planning on making them into a horde, so there will be one more regiment. The miniatures, as far as I'm concerned, are finished. When they need some tail work, if I may say so, and the bases need to be finished. Well, obviously, and the scenic part of the unit of the regiment needs to be finished, because the pillars need some ornamentation, if you can call some rusted chain and such an ornament, and also some, you know, little rats and stuff, maybe some trophies, heads, and well, they need to be finished. Anyway, other than that, the regiment is kind of ready. Well, this is something I showed already, the horde or 2 regiments of these guys, and here are my guns, but in the terms of Kings of War, they are sort of like a moving platform, so I need to make a crew for them in order to look them, in order for them to look nice. This is like a 20 rats, so I'm planning to make them into a horde. Actually, I painted them long time ago, so I need to paint a few more rats. I have like lots of the plastic rats that are not painted, so I'll paint a few more, and I'll make those scenic elements. I don't know what yet, but something, and they will be a horde. These guys, I showed them the Ratogs, or I'm sorry, I forgot how they called in the Kings of War. This guy is completely new. I just painted them like a few days ago, so I like these guys a lot. Actually, I think it's one of my better works when it comes to conversion. And well, this guy is just I just swapped his head. I just used one from the Hell Pit Abomination kit, and he looks rather nasty. I think obviously I need some grass on the base in order for him to be in match with the rest of the guys. And this is it pretty much, the army as it is. Like I said, some work needs to be done, so I can make in-house battle reports coming soon, I hope. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, at least to some extent. So I'll see you next time. Cheers.